Hey everyone, it's Ron Milligan with Remax Select here, and I've got the weekly market numbers for you for the real estate market. This is for the Portland metro area, both the Oregon and Washington side. The number of homes sold was still pretty modest, 513 homes, but keep in mind that these are homes that went under contract between Thanksgiving and New Year, and that's usually kind of a sleepy time for our market. So it's not surprising. And then I did look back at last year, which was that crazy year. The market never stopped going through December into January, February, March, and that crazy spring that we experienced last year. Numbers for the same week last year were 572 closings versus 513 this year. So not a big difference there. The number of active listings, so the supply side of our supply and demand equation, was still extremely low. It was slightly higher than it was the week before, which was probably record-setting low levels of inventory of supply for homes to purchase. 1691, you can see that in the graph here, versus the previous week, which was 1677. But what could be a little more telling about how low our inventory is this next slide that I have here from RMLS. This is for the numbers of residential listings for sale only. So only residential. This doesn't take into account land or anything else or income properties. These are just residences. At the end of December, in 2021, we had 1546 listings. Same time last year, 2,092, significantly more. And then in 2019, that number is 3,904. And I remember in 2019, the beginning of the year, that was looking like a good year. Things were looking up as we were headed into 19. So that's a pretty telling indicator of how low our inventory is right now. The number of pending deals, the number of deals that went under contract last week was 517. That's up from the 334 that we saw the week before, but that is still about half of what we like to see in a good month. But keep in mind, January isn't supposed to be a good month. Part of what is happening too, though, is that there's just not that much for buyers to buy. So I think it's probably having an effect, suppressing that number a little bit just because there's nothing that buyers can buy. And those properties that are coming up are getting snatched up pretty darn quick. Very similar to last year, the feel that we're having right now. Average sale price here jumped up quite a bit, 627.91 for last week. Again, these are properties that went under contract in the probably end of November, beginning of December. Keep in mind that these weekly numbers are a small sample and the numbers can be a little volatile. You can see that here on the graph. And the last thing I want to talk about was just kind of the demand. It feels like our market did really kick up this last week. So I looked at the lockbox opens, so that's kind of a measure of the number of showings that we saw during that week. And the number that we saw doubled from the week before. So we had the week before, the week ending January 2nd, there were 6929 showings, lockbox opens. The week ending January 9th, there was 14,070 lockbox opens, more than double. So realtors are out there showing properties to their clients, and we're all out there showing the same 12 houses, and there's not a whole lot to buy, and those same 12 houses are all going under contract. We expect that this is probably going to mellow out. I don't think it's feeling a lot like it felt last year at this time, when our market was just going great guns and we're headed into that crazy late winter, early spring market that was an absolute frenzy. I do feel like the pool of potential buyers is a little bit smaller than it was last year, and I do feel like there is a nice inventory of homes that's going to be coming on the market. Interest rates also jumped up quite a bit last week. One mortgage broker that I talked to said that it felt like a bloodbath with the rates just popping up again and again and again and again and again. So we're somewhere, plus or minus around 3.4, 3.5% interest rates. We'll see if that has a tempering effect on the market going forward. And of course, I'll keep an eye on it and let you know what I find out. And as always, all real estate is local. If you have any questions about what's going on in your neck of the woods, always feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to share what I know and research whatever questions you might have and provide you with that information. All right, talk to you next week.